It is Friday night pint, and we are live. And there's some stuff to talk about. West Ham have signed a player, Kiba Lamadrid, I believe that might be how you say it. We'll give our thoughts on that signing. But the Paqueta saga is heating up. It's dragging on. It seems the club are desperately trying to keep Lucas Paqueta after apparently rejecting a bid that would have took the deal up to around 40 million, because they want Flamengo to loan Paqueta back to us because they are desperate to keep him for the rest of the season. So yeah, we're going to get into all of that stuff and some other bits and pieces as they come up. But it's just been, the news has been dominated by Paqueta. They'll also get into maybe a bit of press conference and look ahead to the Sunderland game. So yeah, lads, happy Friday and all that jazz.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Shout out to everyone in the chat as well. Yeah, Nick's already been starring some comments. So yeah, like I said, so if you get any comments, we usually star them and then we'll come back to certain comments. Obviously, we'd love to read every comment out, but we'll, like I said, get into the conversation. So let me get to this. There's a lot to get with this Lucas Paqueta thing, right? The offer was said to be worth around 40 million euros. There's add-ons and such, but the club are determined to get Lucas Paqueta back on loan for the rest of the season. Now, I think this is fucking idiotic what we're doing. This is so stupid. Just take the money and run. Like, there's no benefit to keeping him when he doesn't want to be here. We're going to get him to have this player loaned back to us who's done everything he can to try and leave, who's not participate because he has a back injury, which I think would magically disappear if he went to Flamengo. He'd be available immediately. And we're just trying to keep a player through hell or high water that's, trying to get out. And he's not that guy. It's not like a Paqueta. We didn't even do this. Try this hard for Paqueta. I don't get it. I don't get what the club are doing. The whole January transfer window has been weird. And this is the weirdest thing of all. Get him gone now.
You know my thoughts on the situation, Dan. And as I said before, I don't want anyone here that don't want to play for the football club. And it's, there's a little bit of, over last week, there's been a little bit of positivity. We've won a game finally. We've reduced the points down to 5. Win tomorrow, and Forest lose. We're back within touching distance, right? I'm not saying we're going to win tomorrow, but I'm just saying, like, if we do that, then we're back within touching distance. We're coming towards the end of the transfer window now, and there's still talk about this Ponce. What he's going to do and where he's going to go and all that. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. I do not want to see that man wearing a West Ham shirt. And I know a lot of people are going to slate me for it. And I know a lot of people have already slated me for it. But I don't want to see that man wearing another West Ham shirt ever again. He's shown his true colours. He's trying to ban. I've been seeing interviews with the Flamengo president today, who's saying it's a very difficult deal to do. And then he started talking about that they've been sort of like talking prior, and he was saying he's going to push for the move. Get him out the door. What do you want him back for? I don't want him back. Do you know what? I'm going to tell you what's going on here, right? I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on here. The club are stalling and they're making it look like they want to keep him. I don't think they do want to keep him. I just think it's a tactic to get more money. They're stalling and they're trying to do it. What will happen is it will get to the very last day of the transfer window. They'll sell him and they won't want to reinvest the money. That's why they're stalling right now, because the offer is on the table. He wants to go. Apparently, he's agreed personal terms, so there's no problem now, right? The only problem is they've offered 40 million euros. They want 42. There's no stalling block here. The only stalling block now is the club. And trying to sort out a deal where they want to get him back. What do you want him back for? Again, it's wanting someone back on the cheap, yeah? And everything about this transfer window is cheap, right? We've signed them 2 players for 50 million quid. That's the Paqueta money. It's gone. right? We've just signed another winger for £1 million. We're going to sign Adama Traore for £5 million. So all in all, they're going to spend about £6 million. It's just about cheapness, and all they're doing is they know now if they sell him on the 23rd of January, there's another week to go yet, and they'll be expected to make move signings. He will be gone either the 31st of January or the 1st of February, just so there's no more time to spend the money. That's all it is. That's all it is.
The thing is, mate, is that they haven't got to sell him in January. You know, the Brazilian transfer window doesn't shut till March, so they can sell him after the transfer window.
They want the money, Scott. Don't matter. They want the money.
Yeah, but that's it. But they can take the money then. It doesn't make a difference in the accounts. You know, whether they take the money now or take the money in February or March, it makes no blind bit of difference. Funniest thing, I never hear Dan. I'd never thought I'd hear you say the words Sullivan to take the money and run for a player. You know, it's the first time I think I've ever I've seen you encourage Sullivan to take money. But no, Nick, fair point, mate. You're bang on with it, mate. At the end of the day, there's no point having someone there who doesn't want to be there, who's just sulking around. You know, listen, if he was playing top draw and top of his game week in, week out, you're sitting there screaming, no, you don't want him to go. But we haven't seen the top draw, top of a game Paqueta for a long time. You know, you look at players like, for example, Rodriguez. You know, Rodriguez hasn't really been getting a sniff of a game, but he's been professional about his business. He's still, from what I understand, is a decent person in the dressing room. He's not disrupting things. He's not causing problems. Paqueta has been playing every week and causes problems. So as much as I'm not with you of never want to see him in a West Ham shirt again, because, you know, I'm very thankful because he gave us a moment of glory. But if you don't want to be at a football club, don't be at a football club, and don't try and keep someone that doesn't want to be.
Is it me or him, Dan?
What are you talking about?
The delay.
It's you.
Must be you, because I don't hear a delay.
Oh.
You might have to come out, but no. This is the thing, right? And I have to. Yeah, I'm so interested, right, to hear. You've got Irons TV in. We've got a few people. He was very pro Paqueta, very much against the notion. What are you doing, Nick? What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Sorry, I was pressing the wrong button. I'm trying to get back in.
You'd have to press anything. You just have to join back in. And he's switching it about. Yeah. So, but yeah, it'd be interested for a lot of people because we talked about this, right? And me and Nikki were both quite damning when the first stories came about Paqueta and what had happened about him potentially going on strike. You know, I did a follow-up video when stories came out that he had turned up to training and this, and I went, listen, you know, I jumped the gun, hands up, and I still think, you know, I probably could have been a little bit more measured. I don't change that, but the difference is when we look at it in hindsight, I kind of shouldn't have been as apologetic as I was, because a lot of people were like, see, we told you there's nothing wrong. But now it's looking like that is what the case is. He has gone on strike because, you know, there was talks about he did go train, but he trained on his own away from the game. I'm not buying the back injury stuff at this point. I'm just not buying it. Like, with everything that's going on, I think it's very unlikely. So for us, just like I said, I wouldn't usually say take the money and run, but this is a depreciating asset, I think, and it's only going to get less valuable. So we'll just sell him and move on. Like we've got to keep the good vibes at the club. I said the club, but in the
thing is, man, and this is like what Scott said. That, you know, it isn't like he's been pulling up any trees. You know what I mean? Like he's been poor. We've been fitting him in. We've been squeezing him into a poor side, right? Since he's come out the side, we've signed Castellanos, we've signed Pablo. They've looked like two guys that, you know, they may not have the most amount of talent in the world, but it's, you know, they try hard and they're putting in effort. You can see they're really putting in effort to try and get us out of this. And, you know, and then you see Somerville, all of a sudden he starts to hit a bit of form. You know, is that because Paqueta's not on the side? I don't know. But all I'm saying is he's been out the side, and this is what happened since he's been out the side. Listen, I'm not going to doubt there's any qualities that Lucas Paqueta brings to West Ham. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about quality. I'm talking about fight and grit and roll up your fucking sleeves and get out there and fucking play for your team. And if he wants to abandon the team in January, let him go. Let him go, because I don't want anybody here that doesn't want to be here, right? And somebody said in the comments earlier, we're allergic to talent. No, we're not allergic to talent. We've seen some of the most talented footballers ever grace the fucking pitches of what we've seen, and we've seen it. But what us East Londoners do like is a fucking bit of grit and a bit of fucking backbone and a bit of steel about you to go along with it. That's why we fucking put people like Billy Bonds on a pedestal. Ginger Pele, look right there. Ludo McCloskey. That's the people that we put on pedestals. The people that we know fight and fucking bleed this fucking club, Claret and Blue. I don't like mercenaries. Kudus is another one that went last year. Didn't fancy it. Didn't fancy the fucking fight. Fuck him off. Go. You can go. You know what I mean? That's why we put people like Carlos Tevez on a pedestal, because he fought to the fucking very end. You know, until the day he went. We love talent. We love it. We have the likes of Di Canio. We've had the likes of Payet. We've had all of them sort of players. We love talent. But the ones that we do love bleed claret and fucking blue. Paolo Di Canio has got fucking tattoos all over him of West Ham because he bleeds claret and blue. And you cannot. Craig Bellamy was the same, right? And you look at the interview that Craig Bellamy said done, and he said about the fans, because you can't kid us. You can't kid us. We can tell who's trying and we can tell who's not. And that fucker ain't been trying for 2 years. He can fuck off, and I'll kick him out. I'll drive him to fucking Brazil if that's what he wants. If that's what gets him out of this club, I honestly would, because I can't wait to see the back of the man. It's again why the club's in trouble. Why everything's going on around us, why we're trying to get our business done. The fucking headlines, like it's been week after week after week, are him. What he's doing. The fucking, the nonsense that's going on. Can we sort this transfer out? Can we sort it? Fuck off. Fuck off. I don't want you here. Piss off. Lazy. And I was lucky enough to be watching straight down that line when he got that back injury, and there was fuck all wrong with him. And I'll say that to the day I die. There was nothing wrong with him. He was walking perfectly fine till he sees substitutes and he started fucking holding his back. And that's the fucking excuse that he's given ever since.
Apparently we want 50 million euros plus the loan back, which I can't see them. He's not going to go. He's personally, if he wants to go, if he's trying to get out so bad that he's feigning injury and he's not turning up and he's trying to force a move to go now, why would he? Why? Well, I don't know. This is just a random comment, look, but it's like it's not even worth replying to because he's not added extra content. Like, if you want, add extra context. Sorry, but what I'm saying is if he's causing all this issue to leave now. And we go, okay, we'll set a deal, loan him back. He's not going to take that because otherwise he'd just wait till the end of the season and go. Why would he accept the loan conditions? Why would Flamengo pay 50 million euros for a player that they have to wait till next summer to get anyway? So that's a non-starter, but we'll see. We'll see. Get him going.
We've got more loans going out the club than fucking Barclays.
Honestly, yeah, well, this could be a loan joke. In. We cannot
sell our players. We cannot sell them. It's a fucking joke.
The thing is, Sullivan's never been good at selling players anyway. The amount of players we've sold, we barely make a profit on a player that we've sold. He's one of the worst. We seem to get ripped off when they come in the door and then, get our asses smacked when they're going out the door.
Yeah.
It's just terrible at it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is here I see what Nick's playing. What?
I'm really
delay. What? Fucking all right. So yeah, basically, right. So Nick's saying fair enough. Fair enough. Paqueta gets sold, then we should be rightly fucked off that we ain't going to rest the money. For me, Pablo and Tati ain't a fair swap. I agree. Listen, of course, like to be fair, in this window. I don't so much care that money gets invested like for like, whatever. What I care about is we get the right people through the door, the positions we need to stay up. That's what I care about. Not necessarily that, okay, we have, we've sold Paqueta for 50 million euros and then we've gone and bought a player 50 million euros. Like if you can find a top quality centre back, and then like other positions, like this January, I just want players that I think are going to move the needle in helping us stay up. So it's all about who we get. And Paqueta, we're just in that situation now of what's the point in keeping him if he's not going to play for the rest of the season? Like just to say.
But that's what I'm saying about, you know, the people, and I know Nick's one of them, and I like Nick a lot. But they're grasping hold of this concept of a player, and he just ain't there for us. He isn't there. Like, yeah, he's been great at times. He's been fantastic at times. Half a season, he was unplayable. He was up there with that. But we got to be honest with ourselves. He hasn't done it for us for a long fucking time. It's never going to come back. Never.
Yeah.
The thing is, you now need the situation we're in now. You need fighters. You know, you need players with a bit of spirit, players who are going to put a bit of graft in and put a shift in and do the dirty work. You know, unfortunately for Paqueta, he don't do the dirty work half the time. He spends more time on his arse than he does with the ball at his feet in some games, and this is the issue. You know, when the chips are down, you need people who are going to stick their head above the parapet and start fighting for the club. You know, you'd rather go and get a player in who's half the quality of a Paqueta, but is going to give you 100% effort and 100% fight. You know, that's what it is. It's not about, like you were saying about reinvesting the money. It's not about going out and buying a like-for-like player for similar money. You know, it's going out and finding a player who's up for the fight, who's got a bit about them, and it's going to improve the squad completely. You know, if we go and sign another centre half who's got a bit of pace about him, who's not afraid to head the ball and wants to put his body on the line, I'd rather take 10 million out of a 40 million Paqueta deal and go and sign a centre half like that, who's going to do a job for us and improve us in the back line, than go and try and find another flair player that comes in and because he in the first couple of games he can't do all the fancy tricks and flicks and just downs tools or just doesn't want to be around for the fight. You know, this is what it's about now. We're in a fight. We need fighters. We need leaders. We need that sort of attitude around the football club. We can't have flair. It's not about flair now.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. You know, so I mean, this whole. I mean, let me get some actually comments before I move us on if we've got some. Nicky, the room's looking pucker.
Thank you.
Nicky, you at Ryan's house looking similar. Yeah, he's just fucking Nick Ryan's set up.
He went out. Broke in.
Yeah. Honestly, I remember the PNP outside London Stadium when they had rats running around them. I remember that one.
Dan still has nightmares about that PNP, mate. Don't worry about it.
Never again. Never again. Yeah, honestly. Right. So I thought you some ones. So this is more Nick. Fair. Oh no, we read that. He said spending time ranting about a player absolves Sullivan. In my opinion, why do players not want to be here? I only want players that wear the shirt. Is a fantasy line. Every player is in it for himself. The thing is, I don't get this mentality, right? Of like we can never. Like, if you dig out a player, you're absolved. Like, we can only ever complain about Sullivan. The thing is, right, Nick, and listen, I think that's to be a good debate, but I could say the same to you. Ranting about a manager absolves Sullivan because as Sullivan given the manager all the tools, ranting about Nuno, about Potter, you know, Lopetegui, Moyes, like, you can apply the same thing to anything. Like, if we can only ever rant about Sullivan, like, then we have to just give everyone a buy. All the shit players that we've got, you know, Kilman. Well, we can't have a go at Kilman because it's fucking Sullivan's fault. Like, everything. I hate Sullivan. I'll always put blame, but we have got to be able to shit on Sullivan and shit on players like Paqueta who don't want to be here. And I'm sorry. You know, I don't mind him wanting to leave. And if he wants to leave, then it's because we're in a bad position. To me, it's the problem of how he's going about it, yeah, and when he's going about it. That's the problem. If he said, we got someone who went, yeah, I want to leave, we'll go, yeah, of course, we're shit. So I'm not trying to absolve him, but come on, man. It's the same thing as ranting about a manager. You could just say.
He's talking about Rice as well, and he's talking about Rice I did star it, but it's talking about Rice. Arranged the move 3 months before, and then film West Ham things 10 more years, 10 years. Declan Rice. Listen, Declan done a lot for us financially. You know, he done a lot for us financially. Sullivan was on the radio the next day, fucking basically whoring him out. If you remember, it was the day we fucking won the trophy. You know what I mean? Like everybody knew he was leaving. In fact, Declan probably give us 2 fucking more years than he should have. To be quite honest with you, because any other player would have left if they was always in it for himself. He left when he was 24, 25, and he was here from when he was 18. He give us like 7 years. If you remember the likes of Rio,
I think he was 25 when he left.
I think he was.
How old is he now? Then that means in his late 20s. Yeah. 28. Fuck, no way. He's 20. He's 20. He's just turned 27.
There you go. So he's 24.
That every person that works and goes to work and earns money is in it for themselves. No matter what level you're working at, whether you're our level of working or you're a football player, because at the end of the day, you go work to earn money so you can live, right? Because that's how society is built and that's what you have to do. So every player is in it for themselves, no matter what. You know, we've said this many a time that you'll sit there and argue over a player that eventually will go and join your rivals for an extra couple of quid. Right, and that is true. That's just the nature of the beast. A lot of footballers now are in it for the money more than they're in it for the playing football. But the difference is that when they're on the pitch and playing for your team, you want to see them that they're actually doing it for you as a fan, doing it for your club, because that is their job, what they're paid to do. Yeah. You know, we don't see that often enough. You have players still out there that do it, but it's not often enough. You know, but
I see him also say, so if Bowen wanted to leave, it's the context of it.
It's how you leave, not if you leave.
The problem is, you know, if you remember the Defoe thing, he had a fucking transfer fucking request in his sock, and he left. Oh no, that was someone else. But he basically, like the day that we got relegated, he went in demanding a transfer. You know, it's the way that you leave. You got to think about the context. Well, Declan Rice, right? If he wanted to go to Arsenal. If we was in this position that we're in now, would he have been going, do you know what? I'll fuck off in January. I'll fake the back injury and I'll try and push him up. No, he wouldn't have. You know what I mean? Like he knew when the time was to go, and we knew when the time was to go. It's like, you know, I cannot, right? And everyone's got their own opinions, and I respect everyone's opinion, but I can't fathom why you would sit there sticking up for a player that's just basically stabbed us in the back in the middle of a relegation fight when he hasn't done anything fucking special for a long time.
The thing is, if Bowen leaves in the summer, say we get relegated, and then Bowen leaves, he doesn't do a Defoe, but he's like, okay, like I do want to move on, you know, we'll find a club. Like that's fine. If Paqueta did that, it's fine. Again, it's the context. It's going on strike, faking back injuries, saying that you'll stay here for the season to help the club, and as soon as the window comes and we're in the shit, you leave. It's how. So you have to compare the context of how these players leave the club. There's no
he's been sitting there saying he's going to push for the move.
Right. What do you agree with, Scott?
I agree with it to an extent what you're saying, Dan. But at the end of the day, right, if the club gets relegated and Bowen wants to leave because we've been relegated, that's not the right attitude. Right, at the end of the day,
he's got a career to think about, though, Scott. He's got a career. What's he going to do?
Is he not one of the reasons why we're down there? Why we've been relegated?
Yeah, but he's not. But he's not the sole reason. It's a team effort. It's a team sport. He's our top goal scorer, Scott.
Yeah, and
what?
But this is the thing, right? Sorry. At the end of the day, right? If we get relegated, and Bowen goes out the door because we've been relegated. He's part of the reason we've been relegated because he's part of the team.
So what about Scott Parker?
But this is what I'm saying.
What about Scott Parker? Would you agree with Scott Parker when he left or not?
I can't remember when Scott Parker left, to be honest.
Scott Parker left.
What do you mean? When we got relegated?
Scott Parker dragged us through 3 fucking seasons. Yep. We should have been relegated every season. Scott Parker dragged us through there single-handedly in 2 of the seasons, and we got relegated the 3rd season. And then he went to Tottenham. So
at the end of the day, you're part of the reason we're down there, so you should stay there and get us back up.
Right? No, I don't.
That's unrealistic, Scott. Because then no top players in relegated teams should. Kyle Walker-Peters and Fernandes, they should have stayed at Southampton. Like, and then we wouldn't have gone.
If your contract's up, you don't have to. If your club want to sell you, it's completely different.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But what do you mean? Of course, Fernandes wanted to leave, and the club would need to sell anyway. The club are going to sell you. We could keep Bowen. We could keep him.
But this is the whole concept of what is wrong with football. Yeah. At the end of the day, you're part of the reason we're down where we're down with. Whether Bowen's our top goal scorer, whether Bowen's been the best stats wise and all that. Look, I'm a fan of Bowen's. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, you're part of the reason we're down there. You should stay to the club and help put the club back up where it should be.
Yeah, but I just think that's an idealistic situation. Like, you look at Bowen, yeah, he's what, 28, 29, probably 29 now, right? So you're saying, right, like, listen, one of your few years left of your career. Now, listen, I'm not saying you're completely wrong. Like, in an ideal world, yeah, like, that's right. But I completely understand is that you're thinking, you know, my career, I've not got long left in my career. I want to try and at least play for as good as clubs as I can, maybe play a bit more European football, maybe try and get back in the England squad or whatever. Maybe if Bowen was like 24 or something, that's something, right? But to be in his nearly 30, like, I'm not saying that, you know, yeah, of course, all the players have got to take blame, but I'm not going to call it, I'm not going to look at him like I look at Paqueta for saying, you know, I'd like to stay in the Prem.
And I'm not saying you look at him like Paqueta. What Paqueta's doing is completely different. What I'm saying
I
just think you're being a bit unrealistic.
I mean, them days are gone, mate. Like, at the end of the day, I think a lot of these people, the club takes out their hands anyway. He's a saleable asset, and he'll be gone.
Yeah.
So he'll be sold whether he wants to or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about Fernandes. You know, at the end of the day, Southampton wanted that money.
Yeah.
But we go down. The club are going to want the Bowen money.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. He says, my opinion is, fuck Paqueta, man. I wanted him because I believe he is a top player, capable of many more others. But celebrating his exit, except we ain't reinvested, is mad. We're celebrating Sullivan fucking us. How is it Sullivan fucking us? How?
Well, how are we celebrating? I'm just saying, I'm not going, yes, he's gone. I'm not going to
don't want you, right? He can be the best player in the fucking world. He can be, who's the best player in the world at the minute? Dembele, right? Ousmane Dembele. We could have Ousmane Dembele there. If he's fucking faking a back injury, he could be fucking Lionel fucking Messi. Doesn't matter. If he don't want to play for you, don't want to play for you. Yeah. Look,
and he's for not one, that right? Guy.
I'm not saying that there's no fucking dodgy dealings going on with the club here. I'm not saying that there's no dodgy dealings. I don't trust this club to reinvest money anyway, right? But what I would say is this: you cannot blame the board for this man doing what he's doing. You cannot. Sullivan ain't fucking us. Lucas Paqueta is fucking us. Whether he's the best player in the world or the fucking worst player in the world. Yeah. The one fucking us is Lucas Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta has got a chance to stay here. The club ain't actively looking to sell him, right? But Lucas Paqueta has gone out of his way to go over to Flamengo, go and arrange his fucking deal, talk to the president every day, tell him he's pushing us for a fucking move. It doesn't matter who he is. It doesn't matter. What matters?
Look at this one.
Sullivan, for once, he's not fucking us. Lucas Paqueta is fucking us.
Because the thing is with Paqueta, it's not like he wants to necessarily leave because of where we are in the league, right? He probably is not enjoying it, but the fact that he's desperate to go back to Brazil shows you it's not it's because West Ham, you know, aren't competing up in the league. Maybe that would have made things a little bit easier, but he wants to go back to Brazil. He can't wait. And like I said, Sullivan's the reason we're in this mess. But he can't really control fucking Paqueta's home team.
Sullivan have any blame. But what I'm saying is, right, yes, I did just say they ain't selling us to the window closes. But if he doesn't go out and to fucking start to fucking make noises, we weren't selling him. Yeah. There was no one buying him. But
no, he's right. That is what you can blame Sullivan for. Yeah, it's how and when he sells Paqueta. It's how he does it. Not Paqueta wanting to leave, but it's how he ends up doing it, right? So if he does wait till the last minute after the window closes, fucking sells, and then you go, well, you're a fucking idiot then, and you roast him for that, of course. So let me get to this to Sub Chat, Lunatic. Not.
Sorry.
He's fucking all right. We're gonna be. We might as well get bloody Carrot and Booze on the way you're bloody.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Might as well invite him on because every fucking message you're reading of him, having a whole conversation. Lunatic, 4.99 super chat. Hi, gents. Do you think a relegation would actually be good for the club? Assuming BS sell up means a clear out, complete refresh. Right, let's try and each quickly get to it. Assuming BS sell up, I think then there's a positive outcome there. I think it'll be hard for us to get back in the league. And financially, it's going to be a hit, losing a lot of players. It's a big setback. But if they sell up, then there's a chance to do what Villa did, when they went down and have a complete refresh, new owners, and come back.
The problem is that you're sitting there relying on them selling up, and we all know that Sullivan goes when Sullivan's ready. It's not this is the thing. Getting relegated and Sullivan sells up, it will benefit the club. But getting relegated and he doesn't, it's just going to put us even in a worse situation we are.
100%. Forest Fan TV, thank you for the raid. It says Nuno in. Daishin, I voted on his poll.
I watched you last night. Fuck me, you were shit. How have we lost to that?
Yeah, honestly, but the thing is, though, right? I said this, right, real quick, right? So, Forest Fan TV, Wolfie, he's completely dice out, right? And I said to him, we were talking about the relegation battle, right? And he said, you're in it. He says, no, we're finishing above you. We're staying up. I was like, well, then he's doing his job then. He's doing what he's brought in for, to keep you up. So why... that would, if they sacked him and got a new one in, that would be their fourth manager in one season. They went from Nuno to Ange to Dyche.
The new Watford.
In the same season, and then they'd go to the next one. That's mental. All the Forest fans are going to leave now because I've just said Dyche. Johnston with a £5 super chat. So if you guys could magic one ex-player into the team to save us, who would you go for? Bonzo all day long. That's probably not a bad shout, actually. That's probably the shout, isn't it? Is or Bobby Moore, one of them two, because that's what we need right now.
To save
probably
us.
Bobby Moore. Yeah, to keep us up.
One of them two. The one I would go, if you didn't want to go too obvious, Dimitri Payet. I think he would save us.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely creates chances in that. But we do lack the leadership. But the thing is with Payet, he's bringing him into West Ham now when we're in the bottom 3 miles adrift. I mean, he'd still be head and shoulders above what we've got. But I think, having a world-class centre-back, where that's a leader that fights, I think that. I don't know about you, Scott.
No, it's tough because there's still a few places that need to be addressed. But like you said, having a leader in that back line will add so much.
That's what I said.
What you said. Sorry, having a leader in that back line would add so much to the team. Having a proper captain.
Yeah, Ricey would do.
Oh, you'd fucking slobber for fucking Rice. Would you be on your knees to get Rice? It'd be your one.
Tevez. Any of them.
Tevez is a shout because he's done it before. Prime, obviously, all in their prime. We're going to preview the Sunderland game in a little bit. We've got a Sunderland fan, so there's even all massive game for both sides tomorrow. If we win, we'd go 5th, but our away record isn't great. Only 1-2 all season. Well, our home record isn't great.
Yeah.
I think we've only won 2 all season at home in the league.
3, I think.
In the league.
Yeah, 3. I think it's 3.
Who?
Newcastle, Burnley.
Who's the third one?
Maybe you're right. Maybe that is it.
I think you're right. I don't think it's just Newcastle, Burnley.
Yeah, we beat Newcastle, Burnley. We beat Forest away, and we beat Thingy away, Spurs away. So we've won 2 home games all season. So there we go. That puts us on even terms. But yeah, stick around. We will review the game. But I just want to talk about this. I don't quite get what we're trying to do in this window. This transfer window is absolutely bizarre to me. I did a little live, I think on Wednesday, just trying to keep on top of this, but we've signed this La Madrid, 22-year-old Venezuelan. Apparently, he's one for the future. Even though he's 22 years old, not exactly a youngster, but we're buying this one for the future, where we're loaning him, and it's like £1 million loan fee with a view to sign him or some bollocks. Or if we sign him, it's £1 million. We've signed this guy that's apparently for the future, which I'm not saying we should never even think about it, but I just want needle movers. And now we're trying to sign a second string goalkeeper. Like Nuno is doing everything he can to sign a second string. We're trying to swap flipping Hermansen for Kinski at Spurs. So we're trying to sign shit, but at least kind of proved he was good one point for just shit because you like that keeper. Like, what's the point? How does that move the needle? How does signing a second choice keeper keep us up? And if Nuno, I swear to God, if Nuno signs one of these fucking bums in goal and puts them over Areola, yeah, like Potter did when he brought in Hermansen, I will be fully Nuno out. I've said I'm not going to do it. If he signs someone like a Kinski or some of these other bloody players, why is he so desperate to get a flipping goalkeeper?
I don't know, mate.
Like,
I ain't got a clue.
What is it? You know, he's just bizarre. He brings in Tati and Pablo, right? Which we're all like, oh, you know, they've got some quality, whatever. None of us feel like right now they're definitely needle movers. But he brings them in and automatically puts them ahead of Callum Wilson.
Well,
he tried to.
I don't see the point in why he played him in the FA Cup, Hermansen, if he was going to do that.
Yeah,
I don't see the point in that. Really,
put him in a shop window. This is the thing. That's why you put him in there. To put him in a shop window.
But then he's Spurs are out of the FA Cup anyway. But
I mean, why play him? Scott says put him in a shop window. Look, what shop window? No one's buying him. What, we're going to loan him out and loan one in? What's the fucking point? You might as well keep. Didn't do anything wrong in that game.
And that's the thing. It's pointless. Absolutely pointless.
I think it's a time wasting exercise. Yeah. It's a time wasting exercise. We need other bodies in other places. Why? That is probably the least of our problems at the minute. Worrying about our second fucking string goalkeeper. Listen, as it goes down right now, if Areola went down, I'd be quite happy with Hermansen.
Yeah. I see someone say in your video when you mentioned that
over that Vicario, he must be fucking shite.
He is.
That's the worry.
So, but this is what I'm saying. But I see someone say on your video, like, oh, you know, we can work on multiple players at the same time. That's true, but it's still a waste of resources. It's still a waste of energy where you could put those resources you're working for this stupid second string goalkeeper bollocks and put that to something we need. Have people working on different players and things that can actually move the needle, because we are in a relegation battle. Yeah. And right now, Areola's been great.
He's not been great. I'm not saying he's been
Come
great.
on, man. Come on.
No, he's not been great.
His stats for saves of shots for he's been brilliant.
Yeah, because he's faced more shots than most other goalkeepers in the Premier League. If he's been great, he ain't flapping at crosses. He ain't costing us goals, that type of thing. I can see why we're looking to try and find someone to replace Areola, but it's not a key important position at the minute. You know, he does enough.
I don't think he's flappy like that. I don't think he's flaps at every. He has a couple of moments, but what people does.
But unfortunately,
goalkeepers do it. It's the most critical position in the bloody team, right? If you make a mistake, most likely it's a goal, mate. Like,
of course it is.
To expect a keeper to be, we've seen keepers like Alisson make mistakes. Yeah, we've seen some of the best keepers, Raya, who everyone lauds. I've seen him make loads of mistakes, but because we're looking at it and we go, oh, look, that was bad what he did. He's cost us a goal. We forget. We do this all the time. We forget all the fucking saves he's done. All the times he's won us points on his own.
I'm going to back you up here, Lawless, because one of the best goalkeepers that people always fucking go back to in the Premier League era, right? And I thought he was very comparable to Areola, was David De Gea. David De Gea, right, made so many fucking mistakes, that cost them goals, right? And he was lauded in the Premier League. Class was one of the best ever, right? he didn't make as many mistakes as Areola. I don't think Areola makes as many mistakes as him. Sorry, right? And that is the mythology of a goalkeeper. Ramsdale a couple of years ago, people were, because he played for Arsenal and all this sort of thing, people were raving and ranting about it like he was the best goalkeeper in fucking England. Should be England's number one. Fuck, he's one of the worst goalkeepers I've ever seen. Ever.
This is it. If you're gonna face more shots, Scott, and I'll let you respond here. But if you're facing more shots, you're having more opportunities to make mistakes, right? But we ignore like all the fucking world-class saves he makes, all the shots he stops and things like that, because the mistakes burn so clear in our mind because it's a mistake.
Who classes Raya as one of the best ever? No way.
But you just said he's not been good.
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did right at the start. You coming after me.
I never turned around and said he's not been good.
You did literally right after when I said, why are we trying to play?
I didn't turn around and say he's not been good. I said you can't sit there and say he's not made mistakes.
No, I know. I'm talking about at the start when I first talked about Areola. I never, because this is what I said, right? I said Areola's been really good this season, like, and then you said no, he's not, like, and then you talked about the mistakes.
Yeah, I didn't say he's not been good. So I said,
I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to have a look at it.
He's making,
have a look at this because he's talking shit.
I turned around and said, right, that he wasn't. I'm sitting there saying you was lauding him up as if he doesn't need replacing, right? He's not been great. Yeah, he saved a lot of shots, yes, because he's had more coming at him, right? But there's a lot of times when he's cost us points. There's a lot of times when he's flapping at crosses. He needs to be stronger in that position because at the end of the day, we can't defend set pieces.
But there's, to me, what I'm saying is we're not getting a better keeper than Areola in January. I promise you that.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I totally agree.
So why does he need replacing him? Why do we need to come in and replace him?
What I'm saying is he hasn't been perfect, has he?
No one's been perfect. Even when we was finishing sixth, no one was perfect.
You said he hasn't been great. Scott said yeah. No, you said he's been great, and Scott said he hasn't been great. He didn't say he wasn't any good.
Okay, no, I never said he wasn't any good, but good, great. But he's basically just, when I'm saying like Arrow's been great, he's like, no, he's not. He's basically saying he's made errors. That means he's not been great. When every keeper, but you ignore my examples, Scott, because we talk about keepers at the top level, right? Wait, hold up, one sec. Keepers at the top of the league, right, make mistakes, who face less shots, right? We see them make mistakes. Areola has a clown show in front of him for most of the season, right? Of a defense, faces more shots than any other keeper, and makes save after save after save. And what's going to happen? Eventually, you're going to make mistakes over 90 minutes a game, right? And unfortunately, if you're a keeper, those mistakes may likely go back into the back of the net.
As I've said many a time, mate, when you're a goalkeeper and a defender, you make a mistake, it costs you a goal. No one remembers.
That's what I'm saying.
And I've not disagreed with that.
That's what I'm
saying is he's sitting there. Yes, he's been good. His shot stopping's been good, but his all-round game isn't great. His distribution's piss poor. Yeah, he's flapping at crosses.
I don't think he flaps at every cross. I think the couple that we saw, he has flapped.
He doesn't need.
But I don't think you can say he's flappy.
He doesn't need to be replaced now.
No, you're right.
That's the difference.
Scott, I don't see how West Ham United, right?
Yeah.
Get a better goalkeeper right now than Areola.
And that's what.
No, not right now. Even in the summer. What I'm saying is, say we stay up, right?
Yep.
We've bought fucking Hermansen, right? Who was lauded at Leicester. He's not better than Areola. West Ham, right? We're not in Europe, right? We're not going to be in Europe. We're not going to be competing for European honours right now, European places or trophies.
Hold on a minute.
I don't think we can attract a better goalkeeper than Areola right now.
But we're not going to.
Where, how?
I'm not saying we need to attract a better goalkeeper right now.
No, I'm saying in the summer. I'm saying if we stay up in the summer, Scott, right? We get to August.
We need to be looking at another goalkeeper.
Yeah, but we're not getting a better goalkeeper than Areola.
Go back a few weeks, yeah? People were calling for Fabianski to come back in the side.
I wasn't.
Not saying you was, but people were.
But I don't agree with them. I don't agree with them because, like I said, there's been games, and it happens all the time with Areola, and it happens with a lot of goalkeepers. But I think it's a goalkeeper thing, right? You could have fucking 7 great games in a row, make save after save after save, keep it down there. That one game you make a mistake, right, and end up flapping or punching it into your own net, all of a sudden you're shit. Like, they forget all about those run of games you've had. You make that one mistake. Bowen can have a bad game, right, but have loads of games because he's an attacker. A striker could miss chance after chance in one game, even though he scored loads. But for a goalkeeper, you made that one mistake, all of a sudden you're shit and need replacing.
Yeah, but it
that makes sense.
But no, it doesn't make sense, Dan. But what I'm saying to you is, yes, he's been good. Yes, he's pulled off a lot of good saves. Distribution is not good enough. Ability at crosses and set pieces is not good enough. So yes, he does need replacing.
I don't care about distribution, Scott, for a goalkeeper. I promise you that. Do you know what I care about? Can you keep the ball out of the back of the net? Right? Are you going to make saves? If someone shoots at goal, are you going to do the right thing and make a save? What I'm saying is, Scott, I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying he's the best in the league. What I'm saying is, I don't think we, in the summer, can attract a better goalkeeper than Areola. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not saying we shouldn't sign one, right? Say you get someone like a Manson and you think, well, he's coming in at number 2, right? And then maybe he can compete. I'm just saying this idea of we can replace Areola in the summer, I think is a complete fantasy because where are these keepers that we're getting? Where are this abundance of talent of keepers that we can attract that's better than Areola?
But in the summer, you've got to be looking to improve in every position, right? So what we're saying is now in January, we don't need to be looking at another goalkeeper.
I don't think we do in the summer. I don't think we need to. Like, if you talk to, where would you put it, Scott? Like, say on every position, what order priority would you say goalkeeper would be in the summer?
In the summer,
yeah,
a high priority.
That's where we completely disagree.
You're happy going into next season, right? Going into next season with Areola and Hermansen as your 2 goalkeepers.
No, I'm not. Okay, I need to see more of Hermansen. Ideally, as a number 2, right? I haven't wrote him off completely, but what I saw at the start of the season wasn't good enough, right? As a number 2. If I see more of him having howlers or whatever, then replace him, right? But in terms of a number 1 goalkeeper, we don't need to go out and splash money on a new number 1. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm happy, I'm comfortable if we go into another season with Areola as our clear number 1, and then you have whoever the fuck is number 2, right? I'm happy with Areola as number 1 for another season, right? That's me. If the window closed and we signed all the other positions we want, but we had Areola, I'm like, brilliant, love it, right? Because he's fucking saves the ball. He makes the saves, and that's what we want.
Key part of being a goalkeeper.
Exactly, that's what I want. Like, I don't care about his passing, his distribution. I don't care if he can do keepy uppies.
Also catching a cross.
Can he do that?
But also catching a cross and knowing when.
He's not. You act like he's terrible at it, Scott, because he's made that error. That I don't think he's not like Vicario. That's a flappy keeper.
He's not a Roberto. Right?
We laud Fabianski. Do you know what his nickname was before we signed Fabianski?
Yeah.
Flappy Hansky.
Yep, I know.
And we laud him and say he's one of the best goalkeepers we've ever had. So,
but
Nicky. I think Nicky said. I'm not saying Nicky's wrong.
Yeah,
I do
think Fabianski is one of the best we've had, but he's a pretty good goalkeeper.
I think I would put him up there, like as one of the. I'd put him up there. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say he's the best. Maybe not top 3. He's up there, right? But what I'm saying is our fan base love him, and his nickname was Flappy Hansky. And then we say Areola's not good enough to be our number 1. It don't make sense to me. That's all I'm saying. I think we need to respect Areola more. So of course, it's me and Scott. Nicky is actually the one that took a chill. That must have been unusual for you, Nick, to be the one sitting there out and
keep your mouth shut.
So good debate though. No, I enjoy it. It's a good debate. So we'll see where people come down on the side of that. But okay, let's Lamadrid, Lamachin. What do we think? He's 20. He's got. I think he got like 7 goals in 9 in the Venezuelan league. That's a league we've not signed anyone from before. I don't think. 7 goals, 2 assists in 9 starts. Right, brilliant. In the Venezuelan,
remember,
he's a left.
Do you know what I would say? Right, I would never dismiss anyone before I've seen them play. You know what I mean? Like, because you talk about this and listen, it's not exciting on paper. But I think when you go back to a couple of signings, let's say, for instance, Kante coming from the French second division. I'm sure that Leicester fans, when they saw that, didn't sit there and think, fucking hell, what the fuck? Like, this geezer's going to tear up any trees. So you can't, but it's not something that excites me, you know. But I do think, like, and I've started a comment about, you know, Kilman. They signed Kilman for £40,000, and they sold him for £40 million. You know what I mean? Like, it isn't always the big signings that are going to get you out of trouble. It's the stars you can find. And do you remember when we signed Lanzini from the Saudi Arabian League? Nobody knew about him. Nobody had ever heard of him. He's languishing out in Abu Dhabi somewhere, and he come out and he was stayed with us 10 years. He was brilliant. So it isn't always the ones like the Kilmans that are going to get you out of trouble and the ones that are going to be fantastic. You know, it is sometimes the players from the lower league.
He has to hit the ground running, though. That's the problem.
Well,
he can't. He hasn't got a year. He hasn't got like a season to bed in.
No, well, he might have. You know what I mean? It depends.
It depends what they're signing him for, and they've signed him because they're hoping that he's cheap. Well, first off, he's cheap. He's young. And it's a typical Sullivan signing that, you know, if he does get it right,
£1 million.
Yeah, if it turns out like a Lanzini, Sullivan will load it all up that he's plicked this little diamond in the rough that no one else knew about, you know, that type of thing. And if it doesn't, then he's not. What's he spent? £1 million quid. Low wages, low transfer. We'll probably earn that money back by shipping him back off. It's a typical Sullivan deal from South America, you know, and that's what it is. He's relying on it to be, well, I've done it with Lanzini, so we'll do it again. And it's just another Wellington and Palista. It's another Guilherme type signing.
It's the Guilherme replacement that they've got rid of him for 20 million and they've signed one for one.
That's what I'm saying. If Guilherme weren't getting a look in, like, and Guilherme was very highly rated. People was calling him the next Neymar when we signed him. Like, where this guy, I mean, listen, like I said, I'll never write anyone off. I always question signing. Same with like when we signed, what's his flipping name from Preston, bloody Jordan Hugill, right? I shat all over that, right? But once it's done and dusted, is in the shirt, I'll give him a chance. Like, but when we sign it, like I said, I just when I'm looking at our window so far, like the Tati and Pablos, I said earlier, like we'll see on them. But I'm just so far, I'm not seeing anything that's to me goes, this is gonna fucking help keep us up. This is gonna change. This is exactly what we need. This is what we've been missing, right? And I'm not a fucking I could be wrong, and these players could be that, right? But I'm just giving my opinion. Is I don't see it. I don't know about you, Scott.
No, listen, we haven't seen enough of Tati and Pablo to say what they're about. But listen, this guy, like you said, you just don't know. He's an unknown entity. You know, he's done well in a league that probably half of us never knew really existed. But this is the problem when you're sitting there and looking at, we signed Guilherme for 25 million to be a long-term prospect and to come good, and he never flourished. You know, it's a cheap gamble. It doesn't excite me one bit. You know, but as we do with players that come in, we get behind them. But as I said, it just doesn't. All three of them signings don't excite me as they've come through. You know, everyone said that Pablo looks probably more suited to the Premier League, but even he scored 13 goals in whatever games in the Portuguese league. Big whoop. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is the thing. It's that is the issue you're looking at. He scored 13 goals in a league that isn't to the standard of the Premier League.
No, like you're right. And I said we got wait and see, but I just want to see some. I want to see someone. I go, okay, That's what we need. That moves me. We'll see. We'll see. So let me get some comments. I think some of these are still we've already read. I mean, we are Dial Records, Idle Records says, well, smokescreen. Dan Nuno hasn't confirmed he wants a new keeper. He knew we needed strikers. I just think there's. I don't know if it's a smoke screen, but when you link with that many keepers and he was a keeper, I believe he wants a new keeper. But it could be a smoke screen. Stop crying, Dan. It's the weekend. Slow your roll.
Your roll, check your mouth. The what says.
What says? Wolves sell Kilman 1,000 times bigger fee. What they bought him for, 40k to 40 million. Did Lop get scammed? 100%. Biggest scam
if we would have paid 40k for him, I'd be moaning.
Yeah, that is in. Listen, I got to respect Wolves. I got to respect that, mate. They've turned literally. He's a 40k player, and they've turned him into they haven't turned him into a 40 million player. We've just paid 40 million for a 40k player. Like,
imagine
that
the club
is
sold him for 40k. They must be pissed.
Oh. Exactly. Like, there was no
sell-on clause though in that money.
Oh, they did.
Yeah,
they did. They did. It done them some good. But yeah, that's mental. Need to reduce the amount of shots on goal, not look for a superhero goalkeeper. I think that's the priority. Is fucking defend, mate.
Right. Sort out the defense, and it don't matter if you've got a fucking clown in goal.
You sort out the tactics as well.
Yes. Well, this brings me on. So Matt, our scores. Let's get on and wrap up with the Sunderland game. As we had the Sunderland fan earlier said, they've got 2 away wins all season. We've got 2 home wins all season. This is the test, right? This is the big test. Like Tottenham, terrible team. I saw a much better first half performance and positives, but still same shenanigans when we go 1-0 up. The same sit back, soak up, concede, 1-1, sit back, soak up. Thankfully, we actually scored a set piece. So this is the game. If we win this, I'll start believing that this team can stay up if we win this. I think it's a big game. We've got Chelsea in that coming up. So Nuno, he's going to have to get the tactics right, and he's going to have to get the game plan right. What do we do when we score a goal? What's going to happen? Are we going to go for a second?
You know what we need to see, right? We need to see a performance where we go 1-0 up, and then we go 2-0 up, and then we go 3-0 up.
Yes.
Because what I've seen, what I've watched at Spurs was very much the same. We could have blown them out of water first half, right? It was a great performance, dogged. They were shite. We were good.
We don't take our chances.
And we don't take our chances. Castellanos had a fucking big chance. He should have tucked that away. Bowen.
I think you're the only one, just quickly, Nick. I think you're the only person I've seen that call him Castellanos. I think you're the only person I've seen that calls him that.
Yeah, but he should have.
Good for you though, because you can say it. You can say it.
Yeah, there was a goal that was disallowed, if you remember.
Yeah, 2 disallowed, didn't we?
Maybe, but I'm just talking about in the first half. We had 1 disallowed. We should have blown them out of the water. It was only Mavropanos should have. Well, it was good goalkeeping by Vicario. To be quite honest with you, he made a couple of worldy saves. That fucking he pulled right out of the top drawer. So it could have been 3-4-0. That's what we need. We need to get into a position where we go 2-0, 3-0 up, because we need to get our confidence back. And I do believe we have a bit of confidence back. Sunderland are a tough fucking side. They're a dogged, tough side with good leaders in it. And we see that at the beginning of the season. Listen, it was tight at the beginning of the season, and they've blown us out of the water in the last 10 minutes. It was very much similar to what we done to Forest, when they carried on going, and they didn't hold up. And that's what we don't do. We don't get our goal and carry on and carry on and carry on and carry on. It was, we need to get a performance, where we score a couple of goals and go a couple up and get to relax. And, it obviously come from the manager at half time to keep it tight. But I do think the players, I think that's their natural sort of like their instincts is to try and keep it tight and hold on to what they've got because they're so desperate to keep hold of leads. They can't keep hold of leads. Like an armless dog walkers, they can't keep hold of leads. So we need to go into a position where we just don't retreat, and that's what we need to see tomorrow. If we don't see it tomorrow, I still fear. But we've given ourselves a good platform. We've given ourselves a little bit of a boost, and we've put ourselves within touching distance once again. If we win this game, we're back in. But our own form's shit. Their away form's hopefully is worse than our own form. So,
well, no, it's the same. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Long throws, it's basically like a set piece, isn't it? I think that can cause us problems. Sorry for the comments, lads. No, listen, it's good. All debate, mate. It's all good debate. Don't be sorry. Like, it's good to have some back and forth. Nicky decided to have a full-blown conversation with you through the comments. Cheers, Nick. Have a good one, mate. But yeah, Scott. I mean, how are you looking at this one, mate?
Mate, we've got to stop the midfield battle's the key battle here. We've got to stop Xhaka. He's been a revelation since he's gone in there for an M in their midfield. He's a key component. So this midfield battle is going to be massive. I like the system that Nuno set up against Spurs. Like what Nicky was saying, we have got to keep going for it. We can't afford to sit back. We're not that side. We're not a side like we were with Moyes where we could see out results and defend results and stuff like that. We've not been like that. So we need to, if we get a goal in front, we've got to continue to do what we're doing to get that goal in front. Many a time we've seen it. We've done certain things to do well to get us in the lead, like Bournemouth, for example, where we get into a lead and we do good things and we look good, and then we regress and sit deeper and deeper and deeper. Wilson needs to start, in my opinion. He got an important goal, which got us a result. Probably him being on the pitch was probably more luck than judgment. I'm not going to give Nuno credit for making that substitution. That seemed a time-wasting substitution that got him onto the pitch. So he ain't going to get credit for that. It's Wilson needs to start and the midfield needs to be strong. Otherwise, Xhaka will run the show. And that's what we've got to stop.
We've got a £5 super chat. WHU Mick, £5 says my profile pick is Nobes after we were the first team to win at the Bagel Bowl. West Ham Fan TV is definitely number one. Cheers, mate. It's an iconic picture. Rich West Ham £5 super chat says great show, different sparring partners. Yeah, it's refreshing. Looking at the game, actually there was a comment I did want to get to. There was a comment, I believe. Yeah, someone asked about this was an interesting one, about if we are 2-0 down before the protesters arrive, how do you feel about this method of protest? So what he's talking about here is there is a 15-minute walk-in. So I believe Liverpool have done something similar before. The idea is like you leave the stadium empty for the first 15 minutes and then you walk in at 15 minutes and then you proceed as normal. So you're making a visual show of it. And what he's saying is if it's 2-0 down, is it the protesters? And I think Irons TV made a good point, is the with that stadium, whether it's full or empty, it makes no fucking difference. It was empty in COVID. And I think that's a good point. And I just think that with the protests, I see what you guys think, is they're trying to do different things. So it's not the same protest every time. So they did the boycott of the game earlier in the season. I can't remember who the boycott was against now. There was a boycott. They did the sit-in after Brentford. Yeah, the sit-in after Newcastle. They've done obviously a couple of marches, the red cards, and now a walk-in. So I think the idea is to do different things, because if you do the same thing, it's not going to get the media attention. It's not going to get that because it's just they're bored of it. Now you try something else, it's like, oh, what is this they're doing? So I completely get it. Whether we think that everyone should be in and support the team, that's another thing. You know, so I completely get what they're doing and support them. I don't know what you guys think.
Unless a couple of the people protesting are the fucking players that meant to be playing, it doesn't matter whether we're there or not. Doesn't.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Right. If anyone sits there and we're 2-0 down and they're blaming people walking in after 15 minutes, knock on your head and have a look earlier on in the fucking season when it was full. Because it's exactly the same. Listen, protest is protest. And, you know, people do, you know, if they can't play for 15 minutes, bear in mind a couple of seasons ago when we was all out of the stadium, that's the reason why we was doing so fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, if they can't do 15 minutes without us in there, then fucking relegate us.
We see most people get into their seats late. I mean, I watch games and the same looks half empty for the first like 5 to 10 minutes because people just
the fucking queues and the fucking checks that they do outside.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad, the checks, by the way. I'd rather be safe.
I just think how it's done is horrendous. Like how it's all laid out, it's horrendous. But yeah, go on, Scott.
No, I'm saying at the end of the day, it's not going to affect. You know, things need to be shown. You know, the protests need to carry on and all that, and it's good coming up with different innovative ways of doing it. I don't think it affects the team that much. You know, like you said, there's many people get to their seats late, but at the end of the day, if the team are 2-0 down, they're 2-0 down. It's nothing to do with the fact that a large percentage of fans won't be there. It's the fact that the team are not good enough.
I'll tell you what I did see though, a bit of dirty tactics by the media team. One of the questions to Nuno this week was how important the fans and blah blah blah. And you need them from minute one, don't you? And he's like, yeah, we need them from minute one, yeah.
Minute one, the very. But the thing is,
listen, we've been there from minute one, many games in this season, in last season. You know, and that's the one thing that they can't sit there and think we've backed the team. And you know, if they're sitting there and trying to sit in the safe for one game because the team's not going to be, a lot of the fans are not going to be there for 15 minutes is the reason we're in this shit show that we're in. They really need to give their heads a wobble.
Yeah, no, 100%. And look, I'm same as Irons. They're like, if I saw my season ticket, I would be doing that. I do that protest every game. I was doing that protest because the amount of kickoffs I missed, like, so that would just be a given for me. Oh, we're doing a 15-minute. Yeah, no worries, mate. I'll be there 20 minutes late.
You'd walk in at half time if there was you trying to get in 15 minutes late.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, I'd have to aim for kickoff to get the 15 minutes. Yeah, and Nicky will probably have some sort of problem with his ticket anyway, and have to go to the ticket office or piss about, and he'll get in late anyway.
Oh, so reminded me of something there. Yeah, I would have had as well if you didn't remind me of that. Thank you very much.
There we go. See, so he would have got in doubly late. But yeah, so Sunderland fan at SAFC. I wouldn't worry about being 2-0 down during the protest because we don't score many goals, especially in the first half of games. But from a Sunderland POV, I would like that to change tomorrow. But you are coming up against one of the worst, or if not the worst, defence in the league. So there's a very good chance of that changing.
Come on, be positive, boys. Come on, be positive.
Yeah, so there's also this, by the way. I've got to mention this as well. We'll get onto the positive. Positive Nick, he's been in this season. Nick from Crossdam has arranged a walk from the Bell to Corporate from 11 a.m. if you want to join as well. Yeah, so where the Bell is, right, you can join up with them, walk. So you could do both. Like you could do the walk in, so you walk to the Bell, and they're just going to sing, chant right outside Corporate. Do you know what I mean? It's just another display, get some eyeballs on it, you know, show a show of unity and that. So do go and join that as well. But yeah, just Nick, you've been very much trying to push the Mr. Positivity. What I'm saying is, the thing is, you can't argue against the thing. Like we can all say, like, we can pretend our defense isn't shit. We can all pretend it and be positive and go.
Nothing. I know what the fucking thing is in, but I don't want to believe it. I don't want to accept it. You know, I don't want to accept it. So
I think, listen, the table and the goal.
Everyone writ us off. We got a win last week. Nobody said we was going to win.
That's a lie. That's a lie. We all came on here and predicted win. I said 2-1.
Yeah, actually, I was the only one that predicted a draw. But yeah. So right. But nobody thought we'd have a chance. Everyone thought we was down. Win tomorrow. Forest lose. We're back in it. We're back in it, and that's all. That's all I want to be. Listen, if we go down, we go down. And I've said that to you. Well, there's nothing we can do. You know, as fans, there's nothing we can do. We're not playing. If we go down, we go down. But what I want to see is a bit of fucking fight. Bit of fucking fight. That's all I want to see.
That's what we've been asking for all season.
They've got Brentford away, Forest tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's tough. Tomorrow is huge, mate. It's huge. Us and those two games. Sunday. Sorry, they've got on Sunday. So that's just this is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, if we win, I believe, like you said, I believe we can do it. But what I'm saying to Sunderland fan here is, you know, they've not got a good goal scoring record. We've got a terrible goal defense record. So that doesn't, because they're poor at scoring goals, I don't sit there and go, I'm confident. So yeah, we'll see. But he's got to get right. I think, do you know what, someone mentioned in the comments about I think it was Chico, just about the idea of Wilson maybe being a super sub. I'm happy for Wilson to be a super sub and come on and have maybe an impact some works. Don't bring him on 90th minute. I know it worked against Spurs, but it's not going to work.
And this is what I was getting at, mate. That was a time-wasting substitute. It wasn't a substitute. Oh, we're going to go to try and get the winner here. We're going to bring him on, try and get. It was a time-wasting substitute. And Wilson does what Wilson does, and was in the right place at the right time to put the ball in the back of the net, which is what we need. You know, this is the madness, and this is what you'll think. You'll sit there and you'll sit there and see him use him like that. But you've got to remember, he doesn't want him there, so he's going to use him as minimal as he can, unless his hand's forced. So I ain't going to keep getting on about Nuno because I have my feelings the way he is.
We know how you feel.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the thing: I'm not going to give him credit for that win.
Yeah.
I like the fact he changed the way we played. I like the fact that we saw a sort of a 2 up front. It was more like a 4-1, 4-4-1-1, wasn't it?
I'll give him credit for the start of the game, how we started and the line. You got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, but as I said, for in regards to that, it's not. It was a time wasted substitution that in the end got us a result. So, but Wilson needs to be used the right way. Certain games he needs to start. Certain games he needs to be brought on from the bench, but given enough time to actually make the impact that he can make.
Yeah.
100%. A shout out to Tommy for the 199 super chat. Let's keep it going. Appreciate it, mate. So yeah, let's hope we can keep it going tomorrow. We got Chelsea at Stamford Bridge the week after, which I think is.
There's a few Sunderland fans. I understand it. They're very confident, but I like that. I like going in when other teams are overly confident. I can't see a reason why we don't beat you.
Why shouldn't they be confident? Why shouldn't they be?
I didn't say they should. What did I just fucking say?
What?
Listen to what did I just say?
Calm down. Hey, calm down, dear. Calm down, dear. I wasn't having a go at you. I just said, why shouldn't they be? I wasn't having a go at you. Relax yourself. What's this about? You're all tense.
All right, get out. I'm hungry. I need
the big thing with tomorrow is get the right result, and results go our way. There's a lot more teams that are going to get pulled into this dogfight, and that's the key thing. The more teams that are in this fight, the better it is for us. As long as we can just concentrate on what we're doing and trying to get the wins.
Yeah, I mean, SAFC, he's not confident, so let's see. But it's going to be a game. I'll be there with a watch along tomorrow, so you can check that out. But thank you to OK Jerseys. There's the QR code if you're a QR code sort of person, or you can go to okjersey.com and use the code Nicky10 for the 10% off. But yeah, go get your shirts, Sunderland fans. I think they might have some Sunderland shirts, some Forest. They definitely got Forest shirts. England shirts, Ireland, West Ham classic ones. Scott's got the Maiden on. Nicky's got the.
Do you know what? I've just ordered a fucking shitload of shirts from now, a shitload of them. So I'm going to do a little unboxing when they come.
Oh, an unboxing. There we go. There we go.
I've just ordered shitload jackets and everything.
So by the way, and I must make sure I mention this, size up. I recommend if you order one, size up. I can't stress that enough. Unless you're super fit and it don't really matter, just size up. If you're doubly unsure and you like a baggier shirt, then double size up.
But if your hips don't lie, go right up.
Yeah. Go as far as you can. I mean, we got the biggest one possible for Jason. It still don't fit him. Hopefully, with the weight loss. Members, that is up. The weight loss challenge is back for the members. So you can check out how we got on after Christmas. What was the damage? What was the damage from Christmas and New Year's? So yeah, go and but if you're gonna buy from OK Jerseys, size up. He got his Dr. Martens one frame. Looks fucking awesome, brilliant. Love to see it. Jace is on the watch along tomorrow. Before you leave, can Scott say one more time, if we go down, it will be Bowen's fault? Oh my God!
A laugh there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, maybe I'm a villain. I'm the villain. Scott, what have you got to say to that, Scott? What do you say to that?
I never said it was just Bowen's fault.
I am the one and only.
Oh yeah, that's becoming a bit of a tradition, Scott. You ain't been on FNP, I think, in the last couple of weeks. It's become a bit of a tradition to play that at the end of the show. Oh, score predictions. Fucking hell, yeah.
2-1 West Ham. 2-1.
Yeah, do you know what? I keep wanting to predict 1-0, right? But I can't see us.
There's no nil about anything.
Yeah,
there's no nil.
It's not happening.
I'm going to say 1-1. I'm just going to be real. I'm going to be honest and say 1-0.
No, you've done me because they were the two results I was going to go for.
You're going to have to go like 5-0 West Ham, Scott.
Nah. Do you know
how many goals are going to be in it, Scott?
Say again, sorry, mate.
The one and only.
So 1-0. Oh, well, that's nice.
One and only, yeah. One and only goal.
I'm going to go. It's going to be a tight game. I'm going to go 2-2.
Okay, there we go. We're predicting draws. Let's hope Nicky's right.
Winner, little winner. Come on, a little winner, a little bit of luck. You know,
listen,
we need a bit. We do need it.
I predicted 2-1 last week. We got 2-1. I've used that up now. I've used up my positive mindset thing. I'm just going to be honest and go, I can see us drawing this game. But yeah, thanks for the raid as well. Yeah. By the way, as someone says, I see Carragher bringing up Moyes again, Dan, like I said, loads saying it. Do go, you can check out on my second channel, All It's Live. I put up my appearance on the overlap. And they did ask, you see my reaction. When he said the Moyes thing, I just fucking laughed my head off because I was like, here we go again, Moyes question. So do check out All It's Live, the overlap appearance.
Come and see me at the fan camps tomorrow. And if you go and check out comments below, I don't know why my voice is so high in that one. I don't know what happened there. Go and check it out. Go and have a look at it. And there's a little bit of singing from me in the middle of that one. So I don't know whether you have seen that, but
I watched I've recorded that clip of the high pitched voice. I put that in the group chat straight away. I was like, what is going on here? But yeah, brilliant stuff. So listen, thank you all for watching. Thank to everyone that left a super chat. Thank for everyone that's watched and everyone that's left just a regular comment. Just how much you interact with each other and the comments that you leave. It makes the community what it is. So we love to see it. Hit the old likes on your way out. Thank you very much. And like I said, we'll be back the morning for the watch along. Afterwards, maybe I'll see if Ryan's about or Scott's about to do an instant match, and then you'll have the fan cams and all of that. And then next day we'll do the PMP. So brilliant. Good. Have the good rest of your night, everyone. See you tomorrow afternoon. One thing left to say. Come on, you Lions.